YouTube, once again, is Kennard Vernon Stewart for Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn, where we talk about college football like it's nobody's business. Down in the Deep South, college football is king, and on the plains of Auburn, the battle cry is War Eagle. Let's go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate everything that has been going on over here for the last few months. We're talking impact players. We've got this little series going on where we're talking about impact players for the Auburn Tigers and guys that we feel will be difference makers as far as the outcome of the Auburn Tigers. And, you know, when we look at last year, Auburn had a position change. I think one of the most effective position changes in the Gus Malzahn era. When I first saw news of Noah Igbinoghene, making the change from wide receiver to cornerback, I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about this. But then as the course of the season went on, it actually absolutely made sense. The only thing about it is, you know, Noah Igbinoghene was just really raw. I mean, just straight up raw talent. Had a very, very effective season for the Auburn Tigers. And, you know, made some mistakes. You know, you talk about defensively, he was very active defensively, had 50 total tackles. 39 solo tackles, and 1 interception, but my goodness, that was the biggest interception of the season. We're going to talk about that here in a few minutes. Now, I believe Noah Igbinoghene is going to be so impactful because he's probably more than likely going to play the field cornerback. Now, any of us who know pretty much about the positions of football know that the field cornerback is pretty much the cornerback that covers the wide side of the football field. Very important. That means you have to be very disciplined. That means you have to really be able to control your speed. You have to really be able to, you know, somewhat of an athletic guy. You have to cover, say, end arounds, things like that. You have to cover your intermediate side of the football field. The best cornerback on the field is usually your field cornerback. And Noah Igbinoghene is more than likely going to play that particular spot. Guys who played that spot before for the Auburn Tigers, you're talking about Carlton Davis. Arguably one of the best cornerbacks for Auburn, at least in recent history. Played the position very well. One thing you're going to have to look out for is Noah Igbinoghene was very, very aggressive at the point of the ball and the receiver actually catching the football. Usually he was in pretty good position, but because of the position change, I think at times Noah Igbinoghene just did not trust himself. As a matter of fact, even when he would make a good play sometimes, he would even kind of look around a little bit and make sure that he wasn't going to be flagged for a pass interference before he would start celebrating, because he knew for the most part, even though he was in position, he just didn't trust himself. One of the issues with Noah from last year were pass interference penalties, especially in the LSU game down the stretch. Noah Igbinoghene had a couple of pass interference penalties that helped to put LSU in a position to score late and seal the deal for the Tigers. What do we like about Noah? Noah can do anything on the football field. They wanted to put him back on the offensive side of the football field. He would just be just as effective. He's effective as a kickoff returner. Had one for a touchdown against Arkansas. So he's going to be a very, very important player as it relates to the Auburn Tigers this year, especially because his role is going to be so impactful as to how the defense goes. Outside of the defensive line, we know they're going to be pretty good. We know the linebackers, although inexperienced, are going to be tested. But his particular position is going to hold a lot of keys as to how great this defense can possibly be. You can best believe Justin Herbert from Oregon and the offensive staff for the Oregon Ducks are going to test Noah Igbinoghene, and they're going to see how well Rodney Gardner has molded Noah Igbinoghene into the prototypical cornerback that we feel that he can be. As a matter of fact, I did a video a while back when I first started this YouTube gig where I felt like because of Noah Igbinoghene's skill set, because of his instincts as a former wide receiver, it could position him to possibly be, at worst, this particular season going into his junior year as he solidified his role as an Auburn Tiger, could solidify his position as at least the second team SEC cornerback. He definitely has the skills to do so. But what does Noah have to work on? First of all, he has to trust himself. He has to trust the fact that he has the skill set, that he has the speed, that he has the physicality to make really good plays in the open field in the passing game without committing pass interference penalties. And that's something that is going to be targeted early, in my opinion, in this Oregon game. I'm talking about they probably going to be throwing back shoulder throws at him. They're going to put him in every possible position to keep the chains moving with his tendency to get too physical at the point of attack. But we still can't take away the skill set. Even in the spring game, I started to see shades that Noah Igbinoghene has started to become more comfortable and has started to become very mature in his position. Now let's just rewind this thing. In the SEC, you have a lot of elite wide receivers. You have a lot of great quarterbacks. I can guarantee you with Noah Igbinoghene fresh in the position, a lot of pressure, a lot of anxiety, a lot of lack of confidence. I think with some experience under his belt, video footage that he can review on certain mistakes that he made, he does come off as a student of the game that wants to genuinely improve. I think Noah Igbinoghene is in a great position to have some serious impact for the Auburn Tigers. Will definitely, in my opinion, this is a bold prediction, will have more than one interception. Let's go back to the Texas A&M game of 2018. Noah Igbinoghene in perfect position to make an interception and does. It turns out that particular play changed the trajectory of Auburn's season as of late because statistically, Texas A&M had all but beaten the Auburn Tigers. An interception late in that game led to an improbable comeback and a salvage of Auburn's season last year. What happened after that game? Well, Auburn goes into the Georgia game ranked, played a pretty decent second half until a collapse. Still an inexplicable touchdown right at the end of the half. The rest is history. Georgia wins that game 27-10. The Liberty game, kind of like a mop-up game right before the Alabama game. The first half of the Alabama game, Auburn forced Tua Tagovailoa to one of maybe his first consecutive 3-and-outs. Auburn played very well in the first half defensively before collapsing mid to late third quarter to go ahead and lose that game 52-21. And then, of course, the slaughtering of Purdue in the Music City Bowl. Even though Igbinoghene still had a pass interference call in that game, he was in great position. This is the Purdue game now. Was in great position to make a play, but just too aggressive at the point of attack. We're going to see how Noah Igbinoghene has developed from year 1 to year 2 as a field cornerback for the Auburn Tigers. We do feel that Noah Igbinoghene will be an important piece to the puzzle of the defense. He's going to have a lot of support around him. Great safeties, Daniel Thomas, Jeremiah Denson. I like the fact that Christian Tutt is going to be one of the nickelbacks. You also got to look out for Smoke Monday. I like Javaris Davis at the boundary cornerback because, see, with Javaris Davis, it appeared that he was going to be playing safety. But I'm glad he's not going to be playing safety because I just don't think he had enough control over his speed and over his hand-eye coordination as it relates to attacking the football field in that part of the field. But I think as a boundary cornerback, that gives Javaris Davis a bubble to where he can control his speed a little bit more and not put himself in vulnerable positions. I think Noah Igbinoghene does a better job of balancing his speed, which is why he probably will be the field cornerback for the Auburn Tigers. So I really think I'm really excited about this to see how this progressed, because at points, I thought Noah Igbinoghene as a field cornerback was the best idea ever once I saw it in action. So what I want to know, Fearless and True Gang, let's go ahead and get this comment section active, because I want to know, how do you guys feel about Noah Igbinoghene's impact on the defense? How has he potentially progressed from year 1 to year 2 to possibly put himself in a position to be one of the better cornerbacks in the SEC? Once again, it's K-Stu the GOAT for Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Let's go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Let's get active with this thing. Go ahead and make your comment. I try to respond to the comments pretty quickly, and you never know, your comment might wind up as a topic of discussion on this particular channel. Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn, where it's always great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.